Okay, good. So now I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, good. So the business modeling canvas actually is a methodology that we follow with the strategizer. Strategizer is huge when it comes to helping you to design your business model.
Honey, just to let you know that your slides are showing in presentation mode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Ah, let me just stop the chair. Thank you, Esther.
Or rather, presenter mode.
Yeah, this is good. Screen one. Hopefully my sound works on this screen. So that was, how about now?
Yep, now it's good.
Now it's good. Okay, good. So, okay, good. So what's strategizer? Many people ask, what is this? Because it's for startups, it's a new methodology. So this is Alex Oswalder. He is the founder and CEO of this methodology. This is Alex and me. Of course, I had the opportunity to meet Alex when I did the certification. He's pretty smart. He used to work for a large corporation, and when he was working in the large corporation, he said, well, this methodology we're using here, we should kind of implement it in startups. So he designed this business model canvas. And I'm going to explain more about the business model canvas later in this session. So they actually, Alex and the co-founder wrote this book. It's the business model generation. That was kind of the first MVP, minimum viable product they had when they created this book. And this is the last result of the book. So this is the book that you're going to be following along with other material that I'm going to be sharing. Who use the business model canvas by strategizer? Entrepreneurs, small and medium companies, consultants, trainers, educators, and believe it or not, large corporations. And you may be wondering, well, I'm starting a company. Is this going to be something that's going to help me? Yes, because we develop a lot of customer discovery with this methodology, and large corporations also use this methodology when they want to change the business model or when they want to launch a new product. And we're going to learn more about this during the class. The methodology is being used all around the world and it's getting more like is nowadays, if you don't do this at the beginning, you're gonna be wasting a lot of money. So now it's very like a must to do before you launch company. The Strategizer team developed this business model toolbox. It's an app. You can download it if you want, or you can kind of use their portal. It's strategizer.com. I don't encourage you to do it now because they charge a subscription. So that's later. It's just going to teach you the methodology, but you don't have to subscribe to the portal if you don't want to. So this is the book we are going to follow. And the book has everything you need to know to develop your business model. But with us, you're going to be able to develop the first business model that it's going to allow you to launch your company or to change your business model if you already are in business. So we're going to use the value proposition canvas as well, which is only the customer and the value proposition. And this is something that you're going to be kind of working a lot because it's a lot of hands-on interviewing your own users. This class is intense, especially when it comes to customer discovery. So at the beginning, we're going to start with a general canvas. We're going to kind of ask you to develop your first canvas, it's going to be chaotic because the designing process is going to make you think a lot, and you're going to feel like, oh, this is overwhelming, I don't know what to do. But little by little, the more you interview your end users, the more feedback we give you, you come up with a minimum viable product, and then you test all these kind of ideas of hypotheses, and then you continue evolving that business model until you get to the point that you have a very profitable business model. So we're going to follow some books that I'm going to be sharing with you in our LinkedIn group and during the class. When I show a blue slide, means that we are learning a concept. When you see a yellow slide, it's going to be an illustration. And green slide is going to be an exercise, means that we're going to kind of do an activity. And a red slide is going to be the lesson that we are learning during that class. Of course, now everybody is alert, everybody is just ready to start. Those are your expectations. Some of you might be like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to be here. But, you know, my expectations at the end of the class is that you become a master of your business model. The more you know your business model, the better your company will perform in the future. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to ask this question to everybody. So what's the biggest thing you want to learn during this bootcamp?
I'd like to learn how to streamline my business model.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was, I cannot see the screen. Sasha? Sasha, were you the one who just say?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So Sasha, I have a question. How, are you still in business? Are you still not? Have you started business, or are you currently in business?
Yeah, the adult living facility business is about 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But creating this platform and, you know, this new project is very new.
I love it. This is great. I like to hear that you have identified a problem in your industry, especially because you are in that industry. And yes, definitely this bootcamp is going to help you to kind of develop a business model for your new idea based on the problem you discovered. That's good. Yes, definitely you are going to be not only kind of working on your new business model, but also improving what you currently have. Any other question or any other person want to share what is the biggest thing you want to learn during the bootcamp?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Teresa.
Is there feedback in the phone? I apologize. I'll have to wait because I'm hearing feedback, so I'll come back to it later. Sorry.
Okay. Maybe if you use the chat, then we can read your question. Any other comment or?
Yes. Well, I wanted to do this bootcamp with Italo because basically we were actually going to develop the app before planning the whole business. I already had an app before. I already have a prototype ready. But since we're starting from scratch and we're working together now, something different is going to come up. And it's going to be much, much bigger and much more professional. So we want to start right and start planning from the basis of what this business is going to do, what is it going to offer, and structure it very well. That way, in 3 months from now, we can have more clarity of what we're going to build, because we're already about to build it. And also, we're hiring a team, an outside team, to help us develop this. So before hire this team, we want to have even more clarity about the business and understand exactly where we want to go to. So I think it's essential to do this.
Yes, Marcus, and you are in the right place, because this bootcamp is designed especially for the startups or companies that are kind of launching new products. And my job during the bootcamp is to help you to develop a business model that will be successful without you expending thousands of dollars. So I remember when I was at the Small Business Development Center a long time ago, I used to tell people, yeah, go open this restaurant. Yes, you're going to be very successful. Oh my gosh. And voila, 1 year later, boom, they fail. Because they built something they want, not something the customers wanted. So, and this class is going to help you to develop something the customers want. So that's why you're going to be interviewing a lot of people, and based on their customer discovery, based on their feedback, you're going to come back to your office with the developers, and then you're going to be building that up. So whenever you launch, you're launching something they want, not something you want. And then, and of course, when you're presenting your minimum viable product, I'm not going to ask you to do the app or work on what you currently have. No, it's just do like a mock-ups of the app. And that's not going to cost you a lot of money. Even I have had clients here in this class that they were able to raise money from investors only with mock-ups. They didn't have to spend $50,000 in developing the app. They just spent like $50 and did the mock-ups. So yes, you're in the right place. Thank you, Marcus. Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to know how to grow business. So this is actually my second business. My other one is strictly a photography business. And I saw this need with working with attorneys, and I wanted to be a very separate company in a very specific niche. And I want to know, my photography business, it's always just been just me, but this company, I'm looking at it very differently. I want it to be very big. I want it to be turnkey ready, be able to grow. I want to hire people. So I'm looking at it with a very different set of eyes, but I just don't know how to expand beyond myself. So that's why I'm here.
Great. And we are going to help you actually to develop that plan on paper, and then you can move to the future. And kind of, again, what I was telling to Marcus is, when you build this startup and you bring company, you build that startup based on your customer discovery. At the beginning is you have to come up with some hypothesis, like what is the hypothesis? Like our attorney is going to hire my services to kind of do this. That will be your hypothesis. And then you go and ask an attorney and a second attorney, and they say, yes, definitely I want it. Let's do that. And the more feedback you get, then you come back here and organize a business model. And then when you launch, you go back to your attorneys, the ones you interview, and say, hey, finally, I build it. And they're going to be the ones helping you to grow the company, because they already have somebody who built something they want. You know what I mean? It's just you will build something they want. You will build something they need. That way they will just go and pay you. You will make their life better. Because everybody is looking to be different, in this very competitive business world. So the more value you add to their value proposition, the better chances are for you to succeed. And yes, definitely, hopefully we're able to help you here. It's a lot of case studies that we're going to be showing you, a lot of like practice and practice and practice. It's intense, but at the end, you're going to have something to follow and to be successful. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. I always have like 10 companies starting, sometimes 6 finish, because, not because they just didn't want to do it, it's because they found themselves like, oh, I need too much money, or maybe this is not the right time, or I don't have customers for this. So it's good. So we're going to be helping you along the way, Erin. Who else? Teresa? Can you unmute yourself? You're mute. Aston. You can. Oh my, I can't hear this.
I guess I'm not meant to speak today.
Now I can hear you. What did you say?
So the reason why we started Imagine Daytona in 2018 was there was a need and we had an immediate opportunity, but we didn't have a plan. We just started doing the work. Now we're having to step back and build our business plan. So that's where our need is, to learn from the ground up.
Nice. And that's great, because now you know your customers, and based on what you have done in the past 3 years, then you're going to develop a new business model that is going to help your company to scale. Okay. So it's good that you have a validated concept. Now you're going to develop a business model. It's going to help you kind of to grow exponentially.
Right.
Okay, good. So let's continue.
Well, I can go next.
Okay, Ron, go ahead.
Want to ride Erin's coattails a little bit. Marty and I have been in several businesses in the past, successful ones, but they've always been Ron and Marty. And with the financial services that we're in now, with the mortgage business, we're experts at what we do, and we can get people to where they need to be. We're creating a new way of delivering that service. And so we need to be able to package that, get that to where people will be willing to use it, interested in using it. And then we also need to train people and have employees doing it so that we're actually running the business instead of doing the actual hands-on work every day. And we have very grand plans for growing our business, and we need to get that model quickly.
Great. And we already have our first meeting, and we kind of develop an idea. And I know you are going to be huge if we follow that thought process we work on in our first meeting. Really like what you're doing. And definitely this class is to help you to create not only your business model, but at the same time, a community that is going to be helping you to grow and scale faster and smarter. Okay, good. Anybody else?
Yes,
Yeah,
Scotty, I just have, go ahead, I can jump in after.
Thanks. Kind of similar to what Marco and Italo were going through. I like to simplify my design thinking approach. Sometimes when we began working on this, we were looking at how can we solve world hunger rather than trying to work in these building blocks that will get us to where we need to be faster, where we need to get to faster. So what I noticed is that as we begin to design something with we add so many features without even validation from the client, that particular part of the process becomes humongous, and obviously that's an issue. So I like to simplify that.
Okay. Great. And definitely we are going to help you here by giving you a lot of feedback and by kind of we're going to guide you things you need to do, especially like kind of reading other people business models, the case studies you're going to learn here. You're going to be like, oh, I think I can adopt that business model to my business. And then you test what you change. And if you need to pivot, then you pivot. But definitely, yes. Anybody else?
Yes, Connie, I have just a quick question. With any business concept, there's always a vision, there's always ideas that are being thrown around. And I think that our biggest challenge is that we found that there actually is a need. People are very interested in what we have going on, and there's multiple layers of our involvement and how we are connecting and ultimately collaborating with businesses, with investors, with the community, with the government, being the county and the city. We just kind of need to get our ideas all in one place. And ultimately what's happening is I'm finding that people are interested, but at the same time, we need to maintain our intellectual property. We need to protect our brand, and we need to go after opportunities and the right opportunities. Because as you all know, we all work 18 hours a day on our ideas and our business and our growth. But we really need somebody to dial in and get granular with us on step 1 through 10, and ultimately create a business model that will create investment opportunity, how we can go after investment capital and not empty our bank account out trying to make this vision come to life.
Yes, definitely. We are going to guide you through the process. First, to build your business model, then kind of advising you what is it you need to protect your IP, intellectual property. And of course, last, we're going to tell you if kind of you are qualified to continue being an incubation client. And then when you're in the incubation, you need like a set of financials or a set of legal documents to be reviewed by one of our mentors. Yes, we have some experts in Orlando that can help you with that. Okay. Great. Anybody else before I continue?
Honey, I just want to add to that for Josh and probably everyone else as well, as a matter of process in this boot camp, right? For this myriad of offerings that you have, and you're trying to determine, which one goes first, how do you prioritize it? Well, this process you're going to be building, to give you a sneak preview of the process, you're going to be building hypotheses of, this offering, we're assuming that it's going to do this, and you're going to go out and test all of those. And from that testing, from that customer discovery process, you're going to better be able to determine, what you should launch first, with who, when, how, etc.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very organized process, and it's kind of interesting the way we build these businesses. Okay, so but before we start kind of hands-on the business model canvas methodology, I would like to ask you something. What is innovation in your opinion? It's there, but I mean, what's innovation?
To me, it's creation.
Yes, definitely. Innovation is creation. What else?
New and viable.
Yes, new and viable. Yes, the creation of something new and viable. Perfect. And nowadays, many businesses are talking about innovation, especially existing companies that if they don't change with the change is going to take them out of the market.
Right.
And this bootcamp is all about finding innovative ways for you to build your company. So when we talk about innovation, there are a lot of type of innovation. People think, oh, innovation is just technology. No, in business, innovation is a lot. Like we have product innovation. This is an example of a product innovation, the cell phone. So remember how were the first cell phones, remember?
Mhm.
When we started having these cell phones, tell me, what was your first wireless phone? How was it?
Ag phone with a big
A
battery
bag
pack
phone. Yep.
Big battery?
and an antenna that you had to stick out your window.
Was that like a brick? They want like a brick?
What's that?
It was like a brick, as big as a brick?
No, it was a bag. It looked like
It
a
was a
purse.
bag.
It was a
Like-
bag? Oh my
Yes, it was in
It
a
was a
bag.
full-size leather bag, and the handset snapped on the top of it, and a antenna was magnetic, and you had to put it on your roof to make a phone call.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I remember the one who was like a brick, maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had that
it
one.
was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
With the
that's
antenna you could use as a weapon.
Yes.
Absolutely.
exactly. And now look at what we have. After this bag and brick, and we only remember that the only thing we could do with those phones were only like communicate, like call somebody, right? But nowadays we have everything in our phone. So we have our emails, we have our health information calendars, we have best photography. You don't have to hire a professional photographer anymore. We have video, we have everything. I don't use my computer at all. Now I just use my phone to answer emails. This has become like a very revolutionary process. And that's an example of a product innovation. Now we have another term of innovation. We have process innovation. So process innovation, and in this picture, we're seeing a big this is a container which is moving merchandise around the globe. And that's a process innovation. Long time ago, we didn't even have like an exchange with other countries. Now, because of globalization, we have become efficient. And now this vessel, it's like containers. This is huge. It's a lot of good process involved when it comes to international business. And I know Marcos. Marcos, are you in the export-import company as well? Marcos? Yeah,
Yes. I mean, yeah, but I don't deal with the containers much. I do
No?
more air transportation.
I see. Yeah, the containers is like a new process, and they have to innovate all that process. So business model innovation. Tell me how the airlines have innovated their industry.
I think online is the biggest thing. Presenting apps. If you get on an airplane now, 90% of the people going through the gate use their phone using QR codes. So that's a huge innovation. Having text
Yes.
updates and having the ability to communicate changes in air travel have become almost a way of life now. And if you don't have a phone, you're going to get left behind. And you see those people are left behind because they're holding the old school printed tickets
Mhm.
that they got
Exactly.
to counter. So they're missing out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's an example of business model innovation, especially in the airline industry. And also, how about the price of the tickets? Have you seen a lot of kind of innovation when it comes to the prices of the tickets?
Yeah, they're going up.
They're going up or they're going down. Well, I remember, when I was little, kind of traveling by plane was a luxury. It was
Yeah.
only like people like, oh my gosh, they're traveling by plane. That's huge. It was very expensive.
Mhm.
I don't know if that happened here in the United States, but it was very expensive. And then with these little airlines like a Southwest, Frontier, Spirit, it's just the price have become less and less, and that competing with the big, like the Deltas and the American Airlines, So Yes, business model innovation in the airline industry is huge, not only for the hours, the pricing,
Yeah,
and of course,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think
okay.
they innovated a lot in pricing structure, as well as every time you have a domestic flight, you have cargo inside the plane. So they have like multiple streams inside the airplane.
Mhm,
And also you see a lot of pricing strategy online. Different
mhm.
websites have different pricing. Also, they have like these reward programs where you get the points and you change them for flight tickets,
Mhm.
something else as well. So there's a lot of
Exactly.
innovation on that. Yeah.
A lot of innovation. Same industry, right? Same industry, which is kind of transporting people from one country to another country, one city to another city. Same industry, but on business models have changed. So these companies are competitive in their marketplace. Okay, good. So that's an example of a business model innovation. This is only for you to see if you're awake. How about IKEA? Tell me how IKEA disrupt the furniture industry.
Making it affordable for, any customer essentially.
Yes, Erin, good job. And why do you think, how do you think they were able to compete with price?
Well,
Because
they changed it.
I was gonna say you have to build it yourself.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Exactly. They are
Breaking a
less.
table in 100 pieces, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're less expensive, but you have to kind of do it yourself. Like you have to assemble the pieces yourself. So their business model change when it comes to the cost. They decide not to hire many people to assemble this. It's a low overhead in their end and then more for us. But we like the price, right? We can buy more things. Yes, IKEA disrupt the furniture industry by charging less and having people to assemble their furniture. Another thing they have done new in that industry is, have you been in IKEA in Orlando? Of course, many of you have been there, but it's just the way they kind of feature their furniture. It's like how many floors? They have like 3 floors or two
They have
floors?
I think they have 2 floors.
2 floors, right?
Yeah.
And it's like going to an attraction. You have to start here and you cannot go this way because they want you to go on this path.
Yeah,
And you can see.
they made a whole customer experience when you get through that door. And basically, I think also they are very conscious about materials, like recycling stuff and how you can dispose it. Their packaging is very simple and plain, so everything is built to be mass produced, I think. But the other thing is that when you go to an IKEA store, you basically find everything for your house in there. So that's something else as well, because you always find, you went to buy a sofa, but you found a chair, and then you found a table, and then you found the curtains, and then you found towels and all kinds of stuff, everything,
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of changed the customer experience and the price, everything. And do they change the furniture industry? Not at all,
Yes.
right? They just change their business model.
I think also outside of the actual store experience, their brand revolutionized a design style. They took this simple Swedish style design living, and now it's part of that urban big city feel. You have small place, and now so when you think of a small space of living, you think of IKEA. That's the brand that they use.
Yes, great. So are you familiar with this company, Nespresso? Okay, so Nespresso was the first company that came out with these little machines in which you can make a single cup of coffee.
Right.
And this is going to be one of our case studies. And I love this case study because it helps me to teach you what is the term recurring revenue. This is huge. So how many years have the coffee industry have been in existence?
Hundreds.
Centuries.
Centuries,
Yeah.
right? Yes. So it's been in the industry. I don't know if in before I was about to say something like before kind of I don't know. Yeah, it's centuries. It's been this coffee in existence, but I mean there is this company, especially the espresso, were able to come up with a business model that made this company like a huge profits in the billions. And I just love this. I mean, yeah, we would have a lot of time to talk about them, but they changed the business model and just kind of make a huge success. How about Cirque du Soleil? What are they in this kind of category of innovation? Tell me what did they did to innovate their industry?
Well, I would say they got rid of the use of animals, which has been a huge, there's been a huge transition with that, and they brought in people instead. So it's still an live entertainment act, but appealing to a broader audience.
Yes. Yes, Cirque du Soleil is a great example to show you how they were able to innovate that industry. So the circus industry has been as well as the coffee, industry for centuries. I remember long, long time ago when I went to the circus when I was little, I didn't like it because it was like, I mean, as Erin says, like smells of the animals and the sport animals there, and then these big clowns that I personally was afraid of this big clown. I mean, I didn't like it at all. But Cirque du Soleil changed the way they do things. They're more like art, the way they dress, the way they present, kind of make this industry more appealing to many people. Now, remember how much was the ticket of this old-fashioned circuit? If you went there, it was like
Very inexpensive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a $5, maybe now it's $5,
$5-10.
Exactly. How about Cirque du Soleil?
60 minimum. 60 minimum.
60, 70, is 150, depends on the show you're going. It's very expensive. So this is an example of a company that were able to change the business model. And when they changed the business model, they were able to change the price and ask for a lot of money, and people paid. So the reason I'm showing these examples is because you might be in existing industries, but you are in the process to develop a new business model, which is going to make you more competitive and it's going to make you more profitable. Like this kind of the goal during this bootcamp is for you to develop something different. Your value proposition needs to be different from your competitors. So whenever you launch your company, whenever you continue on this journey, you're going to be able to charge for the best business model your end users are going to find in the market, okay? But you can come out with that business model based on the customer discovery, based on the interviews you're going to be with the end users when you ask what is it they need, okay? So let's continue. So this is the book. Okay, so how about Airbnb? Tell me first, what's the industry they are in, Airbnb?
Hospitality, right?
Hospitality.
Hospitality, they're like, yeah, hospitality hotels. And tell me, what is it they're doing different?
You're taking a vacant room, let's say, that was the first proposal, right? You have a vacant room in your house and you host someone, right? That's how it actually began. So they're basically helping people that they have a spare room in their home to generate income from that room or from that
Yes.
space.
Mhm.
You don't
Yes,
have to
and-
be a hotelier to make money in the hospitality industry. It can be anyone
Correct.
who owns a property.
Exactly.
Yep.
And this is another case study what we are going to have during this bootcamp, and it's going to help you to understand the concept of and kind of revenue model based on trade. So do these guys who invent Airbnb own the properties?
No.
No, right?
No, no.
The only thing they own is the portal with people do the transaction.
Mhm.
And then they have the homeowners going to that portal, putting their houses, and they have travelers where they can go to the portal and book a room or a house or whatever they need. So these guys, the owners of Airbnb, create a portal to facilitate the transactions. And they make 15% from the traveler and 50% from the homeowner. So they're making a lot of money.
Did you
That's
say 15? I'm sorry, 15?
15%, 1.5, yeah. And that's something that is what we call here is a transaction revenue model. So you're going to facilitate the transaction between the two people that are interacting when they're doing this. So we're going to be teaching you this type of revenue model, and that's something you can apply to your business model. So that's what I love case studies, because then you learn from the best. So Airbnb is a company that started in 2007, and in 2000, they started in 2007, and 7 years later, they were $10 million valuation. I think it's 3 years later. Well, this is amazing. It's just amazing case study. Okay, the Wii. Remember the Wii?
Mhm.
So the Wii is another example of innovation. Before Wii, we have the Ataris, remember?
Mhm.
And then Wii was kind of the first thing that we saw like different from the Ataris. Like, oh my gosh, so this control, now you can play in front of your TV. So my kids love it, the Wii. When we play tennis, we jump. And that was kind of the first introduction of like the gaming industry. We didn't have games and the apps. It was just the Wii in the middle of the Ataris and what is going on right now. And Wii was this company that were able kind of to disrupt the gaming industry. So what do these examples have in common?
They were already services offered, and they created innovation to essentially offer a new service, but something that was already offered.
Yes, you're right. So they empower the product through the business model. And they invented a new business model. And they had to take some risk and experiment. So that's what we're gonna be doing here during this bootcamp. You're gonna be kind of taking some risk, changing your business model, testing it when you go to your end users, ask questions, and then change it kind of. And at the end, either you pivot or you kind of continue with what is it you have, but of course, with something that is gonna make you be very successful in the future. So this is the Swiss flag. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Nespresso. So how much did the cost of home coffee consumption changed for Swiss households over the last couple of years? Let's talk about Nespresso. Remember, we were talking about Nespresso and how they were able to change the business model by putting these little machines in their houses and the little coffee pots. So when they did that in Switzerland, so how much the coffee consumption changed? Like, give me a percentage, 20%, 30% with the change. How much it changed in that industry in Switzerland?
200%.
I'm guessing it's fairly high because they just changed the availability or the ease of use of the coffee.
Yes. So Marcus say it was 200%. Let's see. It changed from 600 to 800% just when they introduced that new business model. And it was not because of George Clooney, of course. It was because the new way of doing coffee with that Nespresso machine. Just like very quickly, so we have discussed about, so what is the Nespresso business model? And I think I already told you, is the machine and the coffee cups, right? Yeah, so we're not gonna go over this business model right now because I have a full class with this case study. Let me see my video, my next video will work because it earlier was not working out. Let's see. So now we're going to get into the business model canvas methodology. Do you hear the video? Sound
This
good?
is the story of Beth,
Yes.
her friend Carl,
No.
and an idea they believe
Okay,
could become a great business. It's the story of how they succeeded. And if you're an entrepreneur or anyone with a great idea, it could easily be your story too. But let's begin at the beginning. See, even if you have a great idea, success is far from assured. That's because for every great idea that has shaped our world, there are thousands of seemingly great ideas that have flopped. In order to succeed, a great business idea needs a great business model, and they're not the same thing. Once your idea meets the world, it will meet customers. If they don't care about the problem your idea solves for them, it's game over. But even if customers love your value proposition, you can fail if your business model is not scalable and financially sustainable. You'll need to find reliable channels to reach and acquire your customers. You'll need to build an infrastructure that won't collapse as your business begins to grow. Failing to do just one of these things can mean death to your business, however great your idea is. That's why your first work is to search for the right business model, to map this world of challenges so it can be tamed and organized, allowing you to explore it, manage it, and plan for it. What if there was a tool that could help you with this challenge, simply and visually? A tool that makes it easier to stress test your ideas, track your progress, and avoid breaking the bank along the way. What if it was possible to design and test business models in a way that gives your idea a better shot at rising to the level of the great businesses that are shaping our world? It is. And though the journey for these guys, and for you, won't be a walk in the park, all you'll need is your creativity, willingness to work, and passion for your idea. We'll give you the rest.
Okay, we have like 6 video clips of this business model canvas methodology. So I'm gonna post it on the LinkedIn group, or you can Google it and find it and see it today. Like when you build your business model, it has to have a common language and has to be holistic and has to be visual. So I'm gonna kind of explain you how you will be building your business model It has to be visual. We're gonna use sticky notes, those post-its, the ones with color. It has to be pretty simple that a child must understand. Practice, maybe you have kids, practice with them, because if you're able to articulate your business idea to a child and they understand, means that everybody will understand. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this later in a particular class that we dedicate for scientists. Okay, so we have talked a little bit about business model. Now we're going to get into the business model canvas dynamics. This is the second video.
This is the business model canvas. It's just what Beth and Carl will need to craft a powerful business model, and it can do the same for you. Let's dive in and see how it works. There are 9 essential building blocks that make up any business model. When you get all 9 blocks working together, you'll have answered the fundamental questions any business model must solve. We'll start here with customer segments. These are all the people or organizations for which you're creating value. For each segment, you have a specific value proposition. These are the bundles of products and services that create value for your customers. Channels describe through which touchpoints you're interacting with customers and delivering value. The customer relationships outline the types of relationships you're establishing with your customers and how you're acquiring and retaining them. Pricing mechanisms through which your business model captures value are documented under revenue streams. The key resources show which assets are indispensable in your business model, so you can describe the infrastructure you need to create, deliver, and capture value. The key activities show which things you need to be able to perform well. The key partners show who can help you leverage your business model, since you won't own all key resources yourself, nor will you perform all key activities. And once you understand your business model's infrastructure, you'll also have an idea of its cost structure. Any business model can be mapped this way: 9 building blocks working to reinforce and strengthen each other. But before you make a model for yourself, it helps to see what a breakthrough business model looks like in action, like this one. Low-cost airlines revolutionized air travel thanks to their disruptive business model. Let's first look at their value proposition. A low-cost airline offers ultra-cheap flights to their main customer segment, budget travelers, by adopting a no-frills policy. And this leads to additional revenue streams because customers pay for their ticket and additional fees on items like food and drink, priority boarding, and luggage. The airlines save even more money through their choice of channels, selling only through call centers and the internet, making for efficient, if not always convenient, customer relationships that are automated and often impersonal. Okay, that covers the right side of the canvas, the part everyone can see. The left side of the canvas is what's going on backstage. Like their choice of key resources, they reduce maintenance and training costs by using a single aircraft model for the whole fleet. And they only fly to cheap airports where it's cost-efficient to land or where they even get paid to touch down. Planes that do land have quick turnarounds, so they get back in the air earning money as quickly as possible. And they form key partnerships with others in the travel industry, like car rental, hotel, and insurance companies. Finally, under cost structures, all maintenance, training, airport, and call center costs are trimmed to their lowest levels. All of these pieces working together make their fares almost impossible for traditional airlines to compete with. There's nothing superior about these airlines except their business models. They're reaching an entirely new segment of travelers out of reach for traditional airlines. Cutting out costs is pretty exciting, right? But wait, just because it's successful for discount airlines doesn't mean it will work for your idea. Luckily, the business model canvas allows you to iterate many models and test them quickly. Let's get started with your own business idea.
Let's see if it moves to the next one. Okay, so these are the 9 building blocks: customer segments, customer relationships, value proposition, key activities, key partners, cost structure, key resource, distribution channels, revenue streams. at the beginning, this is gonna be like a kind of little, like doesn't make sense, but little by little, when you're building your own business model, you're gonna understand more and more how to make these 9 building blocks work together, synchronize. So whenever you deliver, then you're gonna be able to have a very profitable business. We always say the right side of the business model canvas is like you kind of positive, your assets is more like the profits part. And the left side of the canvas is more the cost. This is where the money is going. Once you understand these two dynamics, then you're going to be able to kind of do the numbers. So whatever you're doing in this side is going to cost you money on this side. And we're going to kind of have a session only on numbers. So this is how it looks. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna upload this picture, and then your job is gonna be just to print the first kind of to print and to develop your first business model. But I encourage you to print and scale it the way I have it on my wall. See my wall, I have the business model canvas and the value position canvas. I might have some here in my office, so I will provide to Ron and Teresa. I don't know if Esther in Kissimmee has some, and Mike in Orlando in Twitter have some big canvases you can share with your clients. Because I always like this small canvas to be developed in a large scale. And I will tell you why later. It's just about the dynamics.
Connie,
So-
for those in Kissimmee, we do have various places around the incubator facility where we have dry erase, blown up business model canvas and value proposition canvas. So yeah, you're welcome to come here and work on them and maybe take a picture or whatever. But as far as having like available to take out, we don't have any extras.
Yeah, and actually, if once I upload in LinkedIn group today, you can have that electronic image to Office Depot, and then they will print it in a large scale. And it's only like I usually pay like less than $5. Now you want to laminate it, that's the more expensive, but large scale is not too much money. Yeah, it's like can you see my canvas here in my wall? Right there. They're big, so. Okay, so EasyJet. EasyJet is European airline, actually is located in London. And when EasyJet decide to change their business model, it was kind of $3.4 billion company, and they have 8,000 employees. And in like maybe last time I checked today, so when they start changing the business model was in 2009. And I just checked this morning. So the company revenues last year, even with COVID, it was $7.9 billion. And they have 14,000 employees, even with COVID. So the company has grown a lot. And they decided to change the business model because they wanted to, of course, improve their profits. And it was this CEO, Stelios, how do you know now? from Greece. I don't know how to pronounce this. Do I have any Greek people here that can pronounce this? Anyway, he was the one who decided to change the business model by kind of landing in airports around big cities. So they don't have to pay a lot for big time airports, hangars. And that's the way they kind of decide to grow this company. And they charge less for tickets, and the rest is history. So what is the EasyJet business model? So let's check it out. And I think in the video they explain it too. Value proposition, low cost flight tickets, very low cost. I think if you go from Paris to Rome, I think it's like you pay under $50, something like that. It's very inexpensive. And they are, this airline actually designed for low cost flyers. Of course, a lot of tourists, people who want to be around Europe, and now business people are using it because it's very affordable. Way they do the distribution channels is online. They have a nice website, and they, like Marcus was saying, a lot of platforms kind of selling tickets. They make money, of course, selling tickets, but they charge for everything, like extra suitcase, for a suitcase, for coffee, they charge for everything. Charging for extras, that's what they call. So now they divide, this is the right part of the canvas where they make money, and here is with the cost. So this is how the fleets are in these small airports. And back then, the key activities when they start changing their business model was to have like a lot of risk management people. They have to have a lot of flight operators, and they have to have a huge customer segment because, you know, it was a new way of doing this business. They kind of disrupt the airline industry in Europe by doing this. And they need to partner with a lot of existing companies to make the business more efficient, like partnering with the coffee companies, partnering with the hotels, and partnering with the kind of taxis companies to bring people from small airports to big cities. And then the cost is low operating cost, personnel, and the fleet. They have to acquire more bigger airplanes so they can serve more people. So this, I already say the current number. So,
by now, you probably know the business model canvas pretty well. With 9 basic building blocks, you can describe any business model in a more tangible, holistic, and visual way. To better understand the dynamics of the business model canvas, we can use the metaphor of a theatre. Imagine the right-hand side of the canvas as the front stage of your business model, just like the front stage of a theatre that is visible to the audience. The front stage is where you interact with your customers, clients, and users. Like in a theatre, if we go behind the curtains, we end up backstage. The backstage of your business model is what makes the show in the front possible, but most customers won't see who's back here or what they're doing. The front stage is what represents value to your customers, clients, and users, and what they're willing to pay for. The backstage makes it all possible, and it drives cost. At the end of the day, the equation is pretty simple. A sound business model requires your revenues at least as big, and hopefully much bigger, than your costs. That outcome is called a profit. Now that you've got a handle on the business model theatre, will you be able to put on a show?
okay, it's pretty clear. The right side of the canvas is the front stage of business, and the left side of the canvas is the backstage of the business. So it's when the action happens. So next class, we are going to kind of build together the Nespresso case study. When I teach this bootcamp in person, you know, we have groups kind of developing this business model. But now we are not gonna do it. We're gonna do it next class because it's 1:30. Okay, so that concludes my first presentation. So how do you like it? Any questions before we go? I see Rafa. Hi, Rafa. So this is Rafael Camano for Winter Springs Incubator. We can hear you, Rafa.
Hey, how are you, everyone? Sorry, I came in late. I was in a meeting, so but I'm looking forward to spend some time with all of you, and I'm glad to see Erin. So anyway, have fun, take advantage of everything she's saying, and do your homework.
Yeah, please bear with me. I know I have a very strong accent, but I mean, what is here will help you a lot in this process. Erin, do you have a question?
Yeah, in the email the other day, you had said, mentioned some suggestive reading. Is there links for that, or is that something we need to like order through Amazon?
No, okay, so
Amazon, but
we're gonna upload the books. We found now this one for free before. I think, Natalia, did you find this for free today?
Yeah.
Nice, good. In other cohorts, this was not free, was the first version. So I'm gonna try to upload all the books. If they're for free online, then I'll upload in the LinkedIn group. So please find me in LinkedIn. My name is D. Connie Gerson. Then friend me, and then I will invite you to this cohort. And the other book we're gonna follow is the Startup Owner's Manual from Steve Blank. Steve Blank is a professor of entrepreneurship in Stanford University, and I am teaching kind of what he teaches over there. So the content you're having in this bootcamp is big time content, like taught in Stanford University, MIT, Harvard University, especially the case studies. Now we're using it for our pre-intubation clients. There are other books that we're gonna be uploading. I don't have it with me, but most of the books are for free. There is another link that I share that is Udacity. I love Udacity. I had the opportunity to meet with one kind of person that worked in Google, and he gave me a scholarship to be part of Udacity when they just launched it. And I saw this how to start a company class, and I literally love it. So they started implementing this during this class. And guess what? The class now is free. So they open up, because of COVID, they open up the class for every single entrepreneur who wants to take that class in Udacity, and it's how to start a company. And that's Steve Blank teaching the class. So the link Udacity, find how to start the company, and then you will have a lot of great content. Udacity, how to start a business. I count the time is like a 4 hours and 56 minutes class. You can do like every week you can have one session explain every single thing you need to know on how to start your company. So when you do that, plus what we do here, you're gonna get like a lot of good knowledge on how to start this company. And then when you have the proper foundation, this company is gonna be growing exponentially. And remember, you know, it's every single empire always have a great foundation. Same when you build a building, good foundation, always the building will last forever.
Connie, will you be posting the LinkedIn group link?
Yes, so let me see if I
What
can.
we'll do is we can send out an email to all the participants with the link, so that way you can get it directly through your email and find it. And we'll have some kind of just summarizing today's session so that you all have that as well. I just want to be mindful of everybody's time. Connie, I don't know if there's anything else that you have real quick, but we're a little past time right now.
Yeah.
Do you have something else?
No.
Okay. So yeah, we'll follow up with an email. I hope you all found today's session pretty helpful and insightful. Like anything else, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. We all look forward to working with you these next 8 weeks. At the end of the 8 weeks, you'll have a chance to pitch and kind of show off everything that you've built and learned throughout the course. And then after the 8-week program ends, if it makes sense to come into the incubator, you can follow those next steps and procedures to apply and be accepted in the incubator. Or if there's another resource that makes more sense for your company and for your needs, we can direct you to those other resources like the SBDC, SCORE, and others. So again, just want to be mindful of everybody's time. Thank you for today's session, and just keep an eye out for an email from us.
Perfect. Yes,
All
so
right.
awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I will
Thank
be
you.
Take care.
sending the link for LinkedIn, okay?
Thank you,
Sounds
Connie.
good. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. This is Sasha. Bye. Yeah, Sasha, I will change your email, okay? Tell your sister that I'm updating the. Thank you.